So it went from being relatively warm last week to really fucking cold again. I believe that it is currently about minus 18 Celsius. Um, so a little chilly. Decided I was gonna make a video for you on my compressor a few weeks back. I finally got around to upgrading it. Start off with a propane tank. Come out of there with a 3/4 inch fitting into a T. Originally I just had a cap in the bottom of this T, but I found that this thing was collecting so much liquid that it had actually collected right here and then froze up and actually blocked off the inlet to the tank. So I took and switched that, and that meant taking this outside safety ring off because I couldn't get this 90 on with that on there. But if I get it, there we go. Hopefully I'll be able to quiet that down a little bit. But that allows any water now to collect right here, and I can just flush it out every time I use the machine. From that 3/4, we go up to a 1/4 inch. I just spliced this together with some random parts I had. We come out into our first regulator, which is cranked all the way open right now. We have our oil and water separator. From there, we go up. Let me put my gloves on. Like I said, it's rather cold. We go up to our pop-off valve. Did I just zoom the screen in? Okay. I've had to max this out just because I put the new valve on, or the new controller. But I am going to adjust this back down so it's right at the max point of the compressor. From there we go to our actual tank pressure. This is not on a regulator of any sort. It's just showing you the pressure inside the tank. Some fittings back here. I put this on just in case I want to add anything else to it. Now this is the new part. What I had before was this guy sitting off the top. Actually, it was sitting on top of this T right here, where this one is. And I like the switch. I like that. I put that on there. But this new one actually has a switch. So I'm just going to live with that for now. This one here is basically a clone of a square D switch. It's made by Bergham. Preset to 20/40. Like 20 pounds it comes on, 40 pounds it goes off. And I tried to adjust that as high as I could, but I simply couldn't adjust it enough. I even went so far as to add a second spring to the main adjustment, but I could not get it to go high enough for what I wanted. So went over to Princess Auto, got a nice new Hubble switch. There's the box for it. Comes on at 95 focus. There you go. Comes on at 95, goes off at 125. Really nice switch. I was expecting to pay about 50 bucks. That's what it said online. When I got there, clearance sale, $21. They do have other switches if you're in the vicinity of a Princess Auto. They have several water pressure switches. They have several air pressure switches. They can be used interchangeably. It's just some are set lower than the others. This particular switch has 4 openings on it. And I didn't realize that when I bought it, so I was glad that I had a couple extra plugs. And I had this guy sitting around. The gauge I cannibalized off of a busted diaphragm type regulator. I think this one is broken. It leaks. Oh, I can't get it open right now. I think it might be either frozen or busted, but it leaks if you open it up a little bit. So I'm gonna leave it closed for now, and I'll have to fiddle with it later on. But yeah, just an afterthought. I had these pieces lying around, so I decided to slap them on here, and that way I got I don't have to switch out ends when I'm doing stuff. I can have two hoses because I have the curly Q hose, and I have the straight air hose. So I can have one doing air and one doing impact wrenching. Over here, we've got the inlet, and I've just put this on here because I was experimenting with a few things. But what eventually is going to happen is I'm going to take this guy, which I picked up at a local box store that was closing, got it real cheap, and I'm going to take this, and I'm actually going to make an aluminum, 2 plates of aluminum, and put it on to that end. Whether I use an end like this and just clip it on, or if I use the 1/4 inch end on it, I'm not sure yet, but that'll be probably a summer project. I think that's about it. I'll give you a look at the wiring. These guys are actually pretty easy to wire up if you can get the screw out with one hand. I should pull out my impact wrench. Yeah. There we go. It's actually very simple. If it'll focus there. You see it's actually marked motor and line. Basically you have a screw back here you can sort of see, and you have the screws up the front. The ones in the back go to your motor. The ones up front go to your inline source. Line in source, I should say. And then for that, all I did was I cut the cord for the compressor, spliced it together, and then you get a ground in the back there. I've got a couple comments about this ground back here. It's not attached to anything. That's because I have it ground up here. I don't need that attached to anything. But yeah, that's about it. We're sitting at the low point right now. I'll bleed off some air and let you see that click over. No, it's probably not going to click over. There it goes. Got to put it on first. It's below 95, so it'll come on. For some reason, I think it's because this gauge is a piece of crap, but it'll actually come. I'm going to use a screwdriver instead of my finger. It'll actually come up around to about there when it's full. And like I said, I think it's just because this great gauge is shit, is crap. But yeah, I'm not worried about it. I've had it all the way up to almost 140 with no problems. So I'll be back when that's done, and I'll show you how it works. So apparently I could become like a master at controlling my phone with my nose. It's too cold to take the gloves off. Alright, I mentioned earlier that I was going to play around with this little valve here. This is a pop-off valve, purely for safety. I'll be really quiet here and hope you can hear it. Just keep an eye on the writing and see how much it turns here. Now you should be able to hear that. That's the air coming out. So right there, I'm going to give it an extra little bit. Right there is my good safe zone. So I'll take, I got to do this with 2 hands, but what I'm going to do is this threaded, there's the round part, the threaded part, round part, hexagonal part, and then another hexagonal part. This first one is actually this first one here is actually the body of the valve. These two are sitting on a thread on the body. This one here controls the pressure. This one here locks against this piece to stop the circular part from walking out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold. Depth perception doesn't work through cameras. I'm going to hold the circle, tighten up the locking nut. All right, and judging by how much that locking nut actually moved, I probably got a good 40 psi left in that valve. So if I do end up making the unit more powerful, I can still adjust that a little bit more. Like I was saying earlier, this gauge does not exactly work well, but I think the needle might be a little bent, might be a little bit more evident in the video than I can see it with my own eye. But I think the needle's bent a little bit. It's still reading over by a little bit though. And I'll let you listen to this because this is, you can hear that it's not right. But that's about it. Oh, one quick thing to note here. I could have put this unit anywhere. I could have put it on this T. I could have put it on this T. I could have stuck it on the bottom. I put it up here for a good reason. This is something that I didn't explain in my last video, I don't think. This is the most critical piece of the unit. You control your on, your off, and make sure you don't explode things with this. Being up above, any liquid that gets drawn in, and there is liquid in the unit. You can see there's liquid in my little oil separator there, and I might be able to, you can't really see it, but there's a little bit of water you can see maybe right there. If liquid gets into this and freezes, it's toast. So I put it on top here, that way nothing. You can see the line coming out of the compressor, comes in, goes down. Nothing can get into this except air. You guys have yourselves a good day.